Yo, what's up, y'all? It's time for some summer cleaning. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Lana just took Buddy for a walk. And I'm gonna take y'all in the love shack. The what love shack. And take a look at it, y'all. Lots of work. It's been so hot in here that I haven't been able to do anything. But today I said I'm gonna tackle some procrastination, and that is get rid of paperwork. Old paperwork that I don't need anymore, y'all. Paperwork that's taking up my time. Paperwork that's just taking up my energy. Like old car paperwork, old Navy paperwork, old divorce paperwork, old DUI paperwork, all sorts of stuff. And I have a big old box that I have been keeping ever since I got out of the Navy. Since 2004, I have a box with folders in it that is no longer serving me. And so with me going to Kauai, y'all, getting rid of 95% of what I own, this is a huge thing for me to do and to tackle. And there are a few items that I do need to save, but what I'm gonna do, and this might help you all out, I'm gonna digitize some of the paperwork that I need, so that way I can convert into like a digital PDF format, like my DD-214 form, which all veterans need. For example, there's a VA in Kauai, and when you have VA, when you're a veteran, you need your DD-214 form for everything. Well, I'm gonna find that. It's a real pain when you can't find it, so I'm gonna find that and digitize it. You know, I've got Buddy's paperwork in there. I'll show you this right here. I've been carrying this around, y'all, for 13 years. 13 years. And so I'm gonna put some light up in here. And my goal in the next 30 minutes is to go through all of it, and I'll share with y'all. I'm gonna open book. You know, this thing is heavy too, and it really is just not really that important stuff. When you get rid of everything and you go through an optimal reset and you really are trying to be reborn and you're trying to become a better person, and you realize the less you own, the more optimal you are. And so I don't need all this stuff, and so I'm gonna go through it and get rid of what I don't own. So let's get some light up in here. I haven't been in the love shack in a while, y'all. It's so hot. Let me see if I can get some light. In the comment section below, y'all, do you have a certain filing system that you keep all your important documents in? Or have you also been in the process of digitizing everything? Let me know. Let's see. I don't even know where I can plug this in anymore. Let's see. Y'all, I haven't been in here in a while. Let me see if I can plug this in right here. This should work. Let's try this out. Yay! So we got some light. Alright. Well, y'all, it is hot in here. And that looks like caca. That's not cool. I don't care, though. It's all good. We're just going to play like this. Maybe I can put it over here. Is that better? That's a little bit better. Actually, it still looks like caca. Caca! Alright, that should be the best I could do. That's all I got. Alright, so let's go through this stuff. First folder, what is this stuff? We've got IRET. So I've moved at least 45 times in the last 15 years. No more apartments, y'all. This is an IRET. I have spent easily more than $100,000 on moving in apartments, townhomes, paying landlords, first and last month's rent. You know, the most I've ever paid for rent, I think at one point, for a really, really rowdy house I had in Alabama, I was paying like $2,400 a month. That means every 31 days, just for rent, I had to pay, what, $4,800 every 31 days. So that means I had to hustle and be real salesy and put myself in situations and around people where I would be stressed out just because I needed to make enough money, you know, to put a roof over my head, a $5,000 roof over my head. This IRT, I believe my rent here was like $1,400. No more of that, y'all. So I don't even know why I have this anymore. This was from, let's see. This was from Grand Forks, North Dakota. This was the last apartment I lived in. No more. I do not need that. Let's see what this is. This is my birth certificate, y'all. So I definitely need this. And this is my birth certificate. So this is something that I'm going to take I'm going to digitize it. So you could take a photo with any phone and convert it into a PDF. Just get it in natural lighting, take a photo of it, then you have it. It's not going to be as good as this, but so what I'm going to do, check this out. I'm going to get, and I really want you to all pay attention because I've learned the hard way. I'm going to get a suite, not a P.O. box, but a suite. And the abbreviation for a suite is STE. Okay? Normally you can get a suite. It's basically a little mailbox. It's basically an address. It's not a physical address, but it's an address. I'm going to get one of those in Kauai, and it's like maybe $15 a month. Sometimes if you go 6 months to a year, you can get it for like $70. So I'm going to get a little suite, and it's basically like a little box like this. And I'm going to send this, my social security card, and I don't know, not much, right? So I can just have it in an envelope. So I'm going to keep this. I've already canceled all of my credit cards, all of my debit cards, except for one checking account, canceled all my checking, business checking, all of that stuff. I have one checking account, and that is my USAA account, which I'm actually, all of my donations that I'm getting from Roots of Hope for my trip to Kauai is going in there, so it's super transparent. So I'm going to save that. Let's see what else we got. This is birth and social license. I don't know what this is. This is my DD-214 form, y'all. This is really important. So this is, I really, really need this. And you can digitize it all day. But if you're a veteran, they used to like put them on little film things, you know, like the old school Kodak thing. But you always need this, y'all. This is a DD-214 form. It's a certification of release of discharge of active duty. It says my name, Navy, USN. I got out as an MS3, which was a chef. What? That was crazy even thinking about that. I was an E4. I was born 2/18, 1979. I went to MEPS in Los Angeles, California. I was going to all these raves, y'all. Total drug addict, playing in Santa Barbara, doing a bunch of meth, doing a bunch of MDMA, doing a bunch of GHB, all jibbed out. Did not have my high school diploma, so I went to Santa Barbara Community College, and I did my whole senior year like in 6 weeks, and all I did was download papers like off of like Napster, like a Napster P2P, and just downloaded those, and they gave me my high school diploma. So I went all e-tarded, I don't know if that's a bad word, e-tarded, because I was going to raves in LA all day. I mean, I was on ecstasy all the time. And I was basically e-tarded. I mean, I went there and I was like, yo, dude, like, help me out. I was originally going to go into the Marines, and the guy didn't show up, right? And then the Navy dude, the sailor, was like, hey, man, you want to take a test? He's like, I can offer you $3,000 bonus if you join with us. I was like, all right, because I was a cocaine dealer, y'all. I would go to all these little bars. I had like an 86 Civic, and I had all these little these little twompers where I was selling like 8 balls. Like and I was only 18 at the time, and I had like, I think a dozen bars that I would go and sell cocaine out of. I mean, just a horrible, horrible life. And so I go to the MEPS in Los Angeles, and I take the ASVAB test. I did about the worst you could get. I scored an F-. I scored a 54. That just shows you, I don't, like traditional schooling, I don't think you really need it, especially like now, especially with, all of the technology. Just find your passion, and, if you can have fun, then do it. I don't think you need to know algebra. I don't think you need to know social studies. I don't think you need to know, I don't think you need to know a lot of stuff that they teach you traditionally. And what happened with me is, I wasn't paying attention because it didn't interest me, but yet I was a troubled child, listed like ADD, bipolar, all this stuff, just because I wasn't interested in their stuff. So anyways, I go take the test, scored a 54, and so it was such a bad score, they couldn't give me a job. So they had to give me undesignated, which is basically they allow you in, but you're undesignated, so you're a striker. So you basically is everybody's BITCH. So I didn't have a rate. So I went to boot camp, right? And everybody had these rates. Sometimes, so they had stripes. I was like a E1 nothing with no job. And why? That's a long ass story. So anyways, went on designated in LA. So I went out of LA. Let's see. My separation, y'all, 4 years honorably, and I got discharged. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? When did I get discharged? Doesn't say here. That's really, really weird. I think it was May 4th, 2003, because I got out 2 months early because I had 60 days leave because I was the yeoman and I was in charge of all the leave dates, and I would go take leave, but I wouldn't turn in the chit. Kind of shady, but all good. Anyways, this is very, very important for veterans, so I'm going to keep this. Birth certificate and my DD-214 form. Got it. What else do I got in here? Carnival cruise. I went on a carnival cruise by myself. My second wife was supposed to go with me. It's when I was really trying to stop drinking and stop going to the casinos and stuff. And I spent like $4,000 on a carnival cruise, and she was ready to go, and she pieced out probably, I don't know, she had other plans. So I went on a carnival cruise all by myself, spent $4 grand, broke my sobriety, broke my gambling thing, and it was like the worst cruise ever. I will never, when I was in the Navy, I was on an aircraft carrier for 6 months. It was horrible, y'all. I was at war. And I thought this carnival cruise would be cool. Carnival cruises, in my opinion, suck. The food suck. You're around a bunch of people. You don't know, all you want to do is just drink. So I spent $4,000 as a boarding pass. I'll never go on a cruise again. That's a carnival cruise I do not need. Here's my billing for the car. They billed me so much money for that. Don't need that. Here's a copy. Here's a copy of my birth certificate. So I guess I can keep a copy too. This is a farewell, fond farewell. I don't need that. That folder is done. Next folder. Let's see what we got. Debt collection agency. These are all old school. It's a scam, y'all. It's a scam. When I first started my first company 11 years ago, Arizona Web Kings, I still have it. I had horrible credit because I didn't pay my credit cards. And then I started making a lot of money, and I hired a company. I think they're out of Arizona, and they fixed my credit. I went from like a 470 to like an 890, right? And if you think about it, credit scores, it's legalized mafia. You have to get in debt to get credit. You have to open a credit card. You have to pay monthly payments to get credit to a higher credit score, right? Now with the blockchain, Bitcoin, this doesn't matter. And do you know data breaches? Like, I think there's 3 credit branches. They've all been hacked. We have no privacy, y'all. And we have no privacy. Everybody knows their social security number. They can change all this. Credit score don't mean jack. Maybe to traditionalists, and you want to play, keep up with the Smiths and all that stuff. I guarantee you in the next 5 years, this credit score thing is going to be worth zilch. Zilch. It's not going to be worth anything. Debt collection, debt collection. These are all old debt collections. Here's Scottsdale City Court. What did I do here? Delinquent account. There's a $3,000 debt collection. These are old too. These were already all paid off. So look, that was sucking energy out of me, even though it was in this box. I don't need it. It doesn't need to exist, right? Gone. So that is gone. Let's see what else we got. Remember, I've been carrying this box around for 14 years, y'all. Let's see what this one is. This is dependency, application, emergency data. This is my Navy folder, y'all, with all my awards, MEPS, how they shot me up with anthrax. They gave me all these vaccines, y'all. Horrible, horrible stuff. Here's another DD-214 form. I'm going to keep that. Here's another one. Re-enlistment documentation. All this stuff, my awards. I forget that I was even in the Navy. Like, there's a lot of people that are like in the armed forces and they still want to be called like, petty officer this, petty officer, like you go to the VFWs or whatever. Like, it was an experience. It was good and bad. But like, I don't need this stuff. I don't need the awards. I did win Sailor of the Year or Sailor of the Month twice, and I was undesignated, and I replaced 6 E6s as an E1 nothing because I'm a rad ninja with my computer skills. I was a paper pusher yeoman. So I got a couple of Sailor of the Year, but I don't need this. I don't need any of this stuff. This doesn't mean anything. These awards, it's just paper. It was just part of my life that I don't need anymore. What's this? So here's some awards. Whoops. So here is November Sailor of the Month. Boom. Met Specialist Sailor of the Month. I mean, you know what I could do with this? This one, I'm going to slow it down. So with like this type of stuff, these awards, I'm going to put a box together because Jordan, my daughter, or the little rat ninja, she might like that. Just like when I die, y'all. I just got my will, my executive. I want to be burned, and then I want them to give everything to Jordan, and Jordan can decide what she wants to do with it. Who knows, 20 years from now, who knows, there might be a really cool thing that she can do. I don't want a funeral. I don't want to be buried. I don't want anybody to have expenses. I don't want any people to have any of my debt. You know, if Jordan wants to have a party because dad passed, that's cool. Where'd that other thing go? Let's see. I really kind of want to find that other thing. Where'd it go? Oh, here. Wait. What's this? Squadron 11. You all, I was like in a top secret squadron. I can say it now. So I got stationed in Sumter, South Carolina. That's where I met my first wife. And I'm just going to say it. This is a true story, y'all. I cannot make this up. So I was in E3 at that time. I was a yeoman. And on 9/11, right, I was working in the E6A squadron. This is like the movies, okay? And E6 is like a commercial flight, but it's a military plane. And they have a mile-long antenna, right, that they drag against. And you know, like in Doomsday movies or Independence Day, when like SHIT hits the fan and these two like generals have the keys and they're like, okay, nuclear war, and they both turn it. That's the squadron that I was at, right? And I like ran all the admin thing, and my office was kind of like the hub for all the officers and all the pilots and stuff. And I just received a Navy Achievement Medal, which sometimes people takes 10 years to get, and I got it when like my first 2 years in. A lot of people were jelly and hating on me and whatever. So I got my Navy Achievement Medal. We walk into the squadron, into my office, and boom, the TV, the first jets hit the tower, right? And I mean, I'm like in like DEFCON gazillion, and I'm where like all the nuclear weapons are, and like all the things, the tourniquets. I'm like, ah! Like this is nuts, right? And then the second one hit, and then you see all these pilots flying, like going to their thing and all this stuff. It was crazy. Can't make that up. See, Department of Navy, Navy Achievement Medal, y'all. Sometimes people do 20 years and don't even get that. People said I was an ass kicker. I was really just a drunk, and I was just a kid, y'all. I was just a kid in there. All I wanted to do was have sex and drink. It really wasn't all that fun. Another Navy Achievement. So I'll save these for Jordan. These would be cool for Jordan, because you know what? My daughter's super, super creative, and she might like make like a pillow out of that, some paper mache. She might make, I don't know, make like a collage out of it. Who knows? You know? I don't need it. It's not serving me. All of this other stuff, check this out. This is next level gangster. All of this stuff, this is my whole Navy. I don't need it. Why am I even holding on to it? Was I fearful that I was going to need it? That's taking energy. That's taking like I call it my brain juice. I don't need this. What do I need this for? So that is gone, y'all. No more of that. Boom. That's the pile that's throw away. Goodbye to my Navy. Uh-oh. Here's a divorce folder. Here's a divorce folder. Let's see what's in here, y'all. Let's see what's in here. Divorce folder. And I'm going to say this right now. I dislike all attorneys. All attorneys. If we got rid of all attorneys in this world, not the individuals themselves, that practice or that genre, the world would be a much better place. All lawyers and attorneys want to do is to keep having conflict. They want to keep you on, they want to keep billing you and billing you and billing you. And they will create issues, they will create fires that them and the other attorney are like on the same phone, and they're like, yeah, let's bill them like 60 more hours, let's do that. Attorneys, y'all, I don't want to play with y'all, and I'm not ever going to play with attorneys anymore. Car salesmen, y'all, and real estate agents. Not the individuals themselves, just that genre of a job. They should be all bye-bye, because it doesn't make the world a better place. So here is Sumter, South Carolina. This is a temporary order. This one is a bill from an attorney. $6,000 I paid to get divorced. Now, you know, I mean, you should just have like a partnership, right? like divorce, marriage, weddings, honeymoons, all of that stuff is big business. It's almost humorous. It's almost big business. Like with the beers, the diamonds, you know, the whole diamond thing, it's all business. It's all deflecting your attention of raising your awareness and really what's going on, right? Because it's business. If you get married, what do you need? You need like a little priest there. You need to use the state services, right? You need to have a wedding, all the pressure to have a wedding, and you got to keep up with it to have the best wedding ever. You got to have like a decorator, a cake decorator, an event planner. You got to have all your bridesmaids, all the brides, and you know, that's just money. It's all money and it's deflection, right? And look at the divorce rate. I think in the armed forces, it's like 65%. So it's wasted money, right? And then when you get divorced, what do you need? You need an attorney. Right? It's just the whole setup in normal reality life is bogus to me. So to be honest, I don't need any of this stuff. The only thing that I would recommend keeping is, because I got married a second time, is your divorce decree. Because when you want to go get married again, you need that divorce decree or you can't get married again. So I don't need this. I don't even know where another divorce, I don't even know. You know what? I don't even need this. I don't plan on getting married ever again. I don't need this. This is a part of my life. You know, there was a lot of happiness in my first marriage. There was a lot of pain. I was just a kid. I was 23 years old. You know, and then, you know, man, I need to write a book, y'all. That's why I'm kind of doing these vlogs. I've done so many vlogs, but I could talk like for a month, for 3 hours about that marriage. All I could say about that marriage, I still love my first wife. I love my daughter. I'm so thankful. Many reasons why I'm even here to this day is because of my daughter. I wanted to check out so many times. Y'all, I've been in so many gutters, so depressed, anxiety, drug addiction, and because I have my daughter is the reason why I'm still here. And so that marriage, that partnership, that friendship that I had with my first wife, you know, Jordan was created and Jordan was made, and Jordan is a huge inspiration of mine, and I'm actually on really good terms with my first wife. I got behind in child support. I faced up. I didn't want to hide from it. I called her up and she was mad cool, and I've got a lot of HATE. And one thing I can say is when you see somebody online or if you hear somebody gossiping about somebody, don't make a judgment unless you know the person, you've rapped with the person, you know like the situation, because like I called Nicole and I was like, hey, you know, I'm 3 months behind child support. I don't have any money. I'm financially broke, and I don't know when I'm gonna make future payments. And it was quiet. She's like, it's all good. She's like, when we get that money, we set it aside, but Jordan is well taken care of. And I was like, wow. So I was building all of that up. I was fearful, you know, I was stressing out about that. And you know, and she basically set me free of that worry. Now, when I figure out the best way I can serve myself first and the world and still make money, I'm gonna have Optimal Reset 12.0. I am gonna make a lot of money, probably on the blockchain, Bitcoin, whatever it is, but I'm gonna do it my way, and I'm gonna do it where I can serve at the same time. And so when I do get caught up, I'm gonna pay my child support in full. And you know, one thing with the child support, you know, I've never been behind until now. And, you know, I've done a lot more than just pay child support, like braces, like $7 grand. All of the holidays, when stuff comes up, you know, all that extra stuff, I've always done. And that's why I think Nicole was just like, you're good, don't stress out. So, no divorce papers, that's gone, boom. No more folder here. In fact, I'll go through this again and save these folders just in case Lana wants them. What's in here? What is this? Keep this part. What is this? IRS! All right, let's talk taxes, right? And look, I'm not scared of anything at this point. That's what makes me beautifully dangerous, y'all. When you open up your heart and you literally are just trying to find the best way to serve and you just don't care what anybody thinks of you, at this point, because, you know, I had my business, at this point, because I made a lot of winnings gambling too. And if you're a gambler, you know if you're at the casino and say you win 10 grand, you gotta pay taxes on that. But you know, when you're doing a bunch of blow, doing ecstasy, and winning a lot of money, you just think it's all profit, right? Well, state taxes come after you for that. So I probably am on the hook right now for at least 30 grand on just gambling taxes, y'all. I've won a lot of money, lost a lot of money, but they don't tax you on the lost money. That's what's funny, right? They don't tax you on the lost money. They'll tax you on what you win that day. So I'm probably 30 grand in the rears on that. And then probably between Arizona, South Carolina, Alabama, and that's it. State tax there, and then federal. I am probably, this is fun, I am probably 70 grand in debt to the IRS. And look how I say that. I say that with no fear. Because things are happening for me, the more that I serve myself, the more that I'm doing what it is that I want to do, and projects that I want to do, the more things that are coming to me in abundance, right? Maybe not monetarily so quickly, but things are happening. You have to take risks. So I'm not fearful of the IRS. I'm not fearful of not paying my child support, because when I wasn't fearful and I was doing the job and I was making all of that money, I was not happy at all. Right? I wanted to drink. I wanted to have sex with hundreds of women, right? I was a liar, right? I was a liar. I actually kind of was a thief, because I was taking people's money, you know, for services, and really they were hiring me because they valued my services. But a lot of projects I knew, look, in 2 years, you know, they're probably going to fall off Google. They're not going to be searchable, but I would still take their money and even referrals. Now I have the clearest conscience. I'm honest to myself. I'm honest upstairs, and I'm not fearful of this, because I know it's going to come back. So IRS, boom. And then even if you think, like, I canceled all my credit cards, except for, and all my business accounts, all that stuff. So if you tack on, let's say, in the rear taxes and debt, probably $140,000, right? Now, if you think about that, okay, I'm definitely not financially responsible. I never really had any money until I hit it big with my business, Arizona Web Kings. You know, in the Navy, I didn't get paid much at all. And before that, I was like this little wannabe drug dealer. So I never really had a lot of money until, you know, my business did well. And I didn't manage it well. But here's the thing. I was in that loop of that reality where you have to keep working to keep paying all these bills. And now I don't need any of the stuff that I thought I needed back then. You know, I don't need fantasy football leagues. You know, I don't need, you know, to go to you know, hockey games. You know, I don't need to take women out on $300 dates. I don't need bar tabs that are $600. You know, I don't need a big giant house with a big mortgage. I don't need any of that. But for some reason I thought I did. For some reason I validated myself. I thought I was better. I thought I was a better human. I thought I was a better man because I had all these things. And really, I just kept running around in circle, and I was never happy. I was never happy. But when you have all those things, you got to keep going, you got to keep going, you got to keep going, or the debt callers or the IRS will start calling you, right? And then you get more stress, and what do? You drink, you do drugs, you cheat, right? At least I did. So now, I don't have any of that stuff, and life is a lot more simpler. I am a man of my word, and you know, when I have a contract, with a lot of these contracts, when you sign up for a credit card, you got to pay it. I believe what I'm doing right now, another rad ninja is going to feel me, is going to see me, is going to respect me, and is going to want to play with me. And it's going to be a project that I'm so in line with, and you know, they're going to have the budget, and they're going to say, Tom, here's the money, let me slide out of the way and do your thing. And that way, I can serve and operate and use any of that. And I think I just lost connection. Anyways, no more divorce stuff, no more IRS stuff. This stuff is not taking energy from me any longer. 1992 Saturn. Check this out. That was the first car I ever bought, and look at this. I still have the original title, right? Check this out. So before I went on the aircraft carrier, right after 9/11 happened, I went to war on an aircraft carrier in the North Arabian Sea for 6 months. That's why I'm a war veteran, right? The day before that happened, my 92 Saturn, I thought it was the coolest thing. I was listening to like LFO, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, and I'm telling you, I was like really pretty back then, meaning like I looked like Greco Suave. I had like the little earrings, right? I could have sat bench for the NSYNC boys. I was like a hottie. And I had my 92 Saturn listening to NSYNC, and it was the day before we were going to sea, like to war, right? And I was at Taco Bell, and all of a sudden I heard this popping and hissing, and my engine blew up. My engine blew up to my 92 Saturn. Here it is in Maryland. I have the original title and everything. I was like, dude, I'm going to war tomorrow. Like, I gotta check in. I gotta go on this 1967 aircraft carrier. That's like the oldest aircraft here. It was the last cruise. I'm like, what do I do? So I just left the car there. My first car, I just left the car there. And do you know how I bought that car? I got a $5,000 loan at USAA. And I haven't even thought about this in a long time. And I was looking for a car, and I had $5,000. Right? I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a car. And it was before Craigslist or eBay. I don't know how. It was probably like a Navy paper or something. And it was this rad hippie dude that was moving to Hawaii. I forgot about that. This dude was like, hey man, I gotta get rid of my car. I'm moving to Hawaii. I'm like, cool. I'm like, rad. He's like, I'll sell to you for $3,600. I'm like, okay, cool. So we both go to the bank, all right? We both ninja flip into USAA, and I cannot make this up. I feel bad for what I did, but this is a true story. So the teller was like, okay, you have a $5,000 loan. Basically, the guy, if you sell a car, I think you have to sell it for like $1 or something. You got to get notarized. So we're both standing there, and the teller is like, okay, you got a $5,000 loan. Here's the $3,600 manila folder. Here's the $1,600 manila folder, right? And she said, so I was going to buy the car for $3,400. So I was supposed to get the $1,600 envelope. And she's like, this one's for you, sir, and this one's for you. And we're like, cool. Like, I didn't count it. You didn't count it. This is before cell phones or internet, right? So I'm like, oh, cool, man. Hey, enjoy your time at Hawaii. You know, hey, thanks for selling me the car. So I'm in my 92 Saturn listening to I'm a New Kids on the Block with a bunch of beats. It was LFO. And I'm like, wow, I still got $1,600. And I open up the envelope, and I was like, 14, 15, 16, 1,700, 1,800. She gave me the envelope with $3,600. Right? And the dude was moving to Hawaii the next day. So it's not like I was already driving in my car. You don't have cell phones at that time. I didn't have a phone in my barracks. So really the only way I could go find him is, I don't know how. I might have went and tried to go find him. I feel bad that I didn't. But if you think about it, I don't know how I would have found him because he was leaving to Hawaii and I didn't have a phone back then. Because if you think, you didn't have cell phones. So anyways, I got an envelope of $3,600 and I basically bought his car for $1,600. And I still have the title, right? You know what I could do? I'll probably hold on to this title because I know there's things where like cities have money that's left over that nobody claimed. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they towed that car and then maybe somebody bought it in an auction and here's the title of the car. So maybe I'll hold on to that, look to it. You know, if there's a couple $100 or something, you know, I could gift that to Jordan or put that, you know, into the rears. So I'll hold on to that. 92 Saturn, y'all. That was one of that was my first car I ever bought. Boom, no more here. Let's see what else we got. 2003 Aztec. So this is a car, and look, this is another thing. This is crazy. I still have the title. I'm still the owner of this 2003 Aztec, right? This is crazy. So this is a car that I bought my first marriage, and then I ended up buying like a souped up Eclipse with a loud exhaust. And during the divorce, like I gave her everything. I gave her the house, and I kept the car. And so I had the car for a while, and then this guy wanted to buy my car. His name was Casey, and he wanted to make payments of $450 a month. And I said, cool, man. All right, cool. So I gave him the car. I didn't give him the title, but I gave him the car, and he never paid me in full. Like, I think he still owed me $2,000, but he still must have the car, and he doesn't have the title. So I have 2 titles to 2 cars that I never sold, like, officially. But I'm going to hold on to that, see what happens to that. Let's see. AZ courts, y'all. So I'm not kidding when I say this. I have 2 DUIs, and from being a juvenile, I have been in handcuffs at least 20 times. It's not funny. It's not cool. It makes me cringe to even. I'll tell you this right now. I'll never be in handcuffs again. And a lot of people are like, well, dude, that's you know, that's pretty high thinking because you know you're not paying your tax and all that. That's going to come. Especially the majority of the times that I was in handcuffs and in jail is because when I was drinking. The majority of my problems, I would probably say 90% of my problems, 95% of my problems with the law, right? I'm almost 40, have all been a direct result of me drinking, right? I have not had a drink in over 2 years. I don't even desire a drink. That's how much I have improved. That's how much I have scrubbed deep and dealt with my addiction, even if it was from pharmaceuticals or dirty martinis, Grey Goose and Up, you know, Jack and Coke, you know, the cigarettes that I would do, the blow that I would do, the ecstasy. I don't crave any of that. But when I was drinking, y'all, I was a beast. I was a beast. I could outdrink everybody and I wouldn't stop, right? And I would say that I was a lovable drunk, but there's probably a lot of people out there that would beg to differ. There was a lot of chaos, especially when it involved relationships with me drinking. And I know a lot of it had to do with my past and being abandoned by my mom and all of my family being drug addicts and alcoholics. So that's how I had a vision. That's what I was surrounded by on how to deal with things and cope with things. So I would just always drink. And so I will never be in handcuffs again, breaking the law like that. I never want to be in jail when you're waiting for bail and you just feel bad and you wake up and you're hungover, if it's like a public detox or if it's a DUI or if it's an assault, something like that. No more in my life, y'all. No, I mean, clean slate. No, don't even think about that. Here's a motor vehicle tax, fine. Here's another DUI case number. Don't need any of that, y'all. That's not serving me. Don't need to hold on to that. And I want to tell you something. You know, there's a lot of reasons why I'm doing this video. Kind of the one that really set it off is, you know, Lana's mother just passed. And, you know, going through her stuff, you know, was an eye-opener because I was there helping everybody and being there for everybody. And, you know, when you pass and, you know, you have family members, loved ones going through your stuff, you know, I'm an open book. My daughter sees every video that I do. There's a lot of people that aren't an open book. There's a lot of people that don't like their mistakes being public. There's a lot of people that don't like, you know, being vulnerable. They like to keep stuff secret, and I get it. You know, in my case, and that's why Lana does that vlog, Feel It to Heal It. I have already felt all of this stuff. I have faced it. I have talked about it. I have dealt with it. So I don't need it. But one of the big reasons why I'm doing this is because going through her mother's stuff, or anybody, say for you, who's your close-knit circle? You know, do you talk to your daughter? Do you talk to your ex-husband? Do you talk to your live-in partner? Do you talk to your aunt and uncles? Who is on your executive will? You know, who is all of that? So when you pass, if you do pass right now, who's going to be going through all of your stuff? You know, that's why I did my will, my living will, and now I'm going to get life insurance because of all of that. And it's much cheaper than what you think. But who's going to be going through all of your stuff? Who's going to be making your decisions? And if so, do you trust that person? If you have stuff like this, which is called life, right? We make a lot of mistakes. We have a lot of successes. But if you have stuff like this, like divorce papers, you know, divorces are never like, in my case, both my divorces were not friendly. They were not fun. And most of the reason is because, you know, I was drinking and I was an alcoholic and, you know, a womanizer. And so I get it, and I had gambling addiction. There was a lot of other stuff. I don't put that out there. I've done other videos. I don't put stuff out there on other people unless they can respond to it. But there's a lot of stuff in there that is not pretty. I have forgiven myself. I have forgiven them. But in your case, what if you have a box like this that is full of stuff that you don't want people to see? Now, whoever is your executor, right, or whoever's in charge of your will or in charge of your stuff, do you want them going through this stuff? Especially family gossip, family stuff. I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff where it's like, wow, I don't think if that was my journey, I don't think I'd want that person going through that stuff because that's none of their business. You know what I'm saying? So this does not affect me anymore. It's not serving anyone. You know, my life, my chapters are my videos. You know what I mean? So if anybody wants to know anything about me, I openly, freely talk about it. Because when you openly, freely talk about things, even the hate, the hurt, and the mistakes, the failures, nobody can use it against you. There's a lot of trolls in the comment sections that people think that they're hurting you or they're using something against you. But in my case, that's not the case, because when I talk about it, you know, I'm finding my personal sovereignty. You know, I own me. I'm responsible for me. The government doesn't own me. You know, my stories don't own me. Nobody owns me. Nobody can make me feel bad because I've already forgiven them. I've already forgiven everyone. My dad, my mom, my sister, everyone, all of my homies, all of my ex-partners, all of my ex-wives, all of, you know, the people that I used to hang around the corner and those dark circles. I've forgiven everyone. So nobody can use anything against me. You know, we're all in a different stage of healing, you know, and becoming a better person. So somebody, this might be zapping their energy, and there's a lot of people that might have a box like this that you don't want them to see. So this video might inspire somebody. Go through your stuff. If it's not serving you, if you're thinking, hey, if somebody sees this, I probably don't want them to see it, throw it away. Throw it away, and maybe in the process of you going through stuff like this, it might spark something. Well, hey, you know, I haven't talked to my ex-husband in a while. Maybe, you know, there's still probably a lot of pain there. Maybe there's not. Maybe there's a lot of pain there. But you know what? Maybe you can say, maybe you've become a better person now. And maybe you could say, hey, you know what? This folder, wow, that happened then. Wow, we were both a little cray-cray with a little extra cray-cray there. You know what? Maybe I'll reach out to him. Maybe I'll call him. Maybe I'll call her. See how they're doing. You know, because we all change. You know how long 1 month is? You know how long 1 year is? We think like it goes by fast because a lot of times it does go by fast, but you can make a lot of change in one day. You know, you're not the same person you were yesterday, even if you're not even trying to improve. So you think that I'm the same person when I got married in 2003? Hell nah, right? No way, no way. And especially in the last 2 years, I have improved as a father and a man, and a lot of people might question that, but I know for me that the tough things that I am dealing with now, the tough subjects that I am dealing with now, I'm going to be a better father, I'm going to be a better human being and a better man because I am dealing with difficult situations. And I'm dealing with, you know, stuff that people don't like to deal with, where I would just be drinking and having sex with people. Well, oh, I don't want to deal with that. Oh, that hurt. You know, I have, you know, my mother abandoned me, or, you know, my dad, you know, touched me inappropriately, or I feel bad that I did this to this person. Sit with it, meditate with it, forgive yourself, forgive them, and then it's gone. It's gone, right? So you don't beat yourself up anymore about any of it. So don't let one of these folders hijack your future. You know what I'm saying? This isn't me anymore. It's not me. So maybe this will inspire you going through one of these and be like, hey, oh, I definitely need this. Now, this is my original. Whoa! Did I just show that? I better not have showed that. Hopefully that was quick enough. I can't delete this video, and that's one thing about being live. That was my social security card, my original social security card. But I'm gonna keep my social security card because I need that. That's gonna go to my sweet box in Kauai. Let's see what else we got here, y'all. I'm gonna cut this video short because I only got 20% battery. Let's see what else I got. Whoa. Taxes! Look at this. Here's another thing, right? When you make a lot of money, I don't get this. When you make a lot of money, you gotta pay people, right, to pay the government. What is going on here, right? So these accountants, right, and these lawyers, when you make a lot of money, you gotta pay taxes, but yet you don't get a receipt where your taxes are spent. But yet you have to pay somebody or take your time and energy to pay the government, and sometimes hire an accountant and a lawyer to pay your state and government taxes, right? But you don't get a receipt for where those were spent, right? You don't get a receipt where every cent where you paid. But they make you pay to file your taxes. I don't get it. I'm never doing it. You know how much money? Look how beautiful and organized this is, y'all. 2010, all of my taxes. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is, right? When you own a company, and you know, I made a lot of money, but I definitely did, you know, wasn't a millionaire. You know, and the more money you make, you know, the more, in my opinion, the more problems you have. But then you get caught up in this. You know, oh, July 15th's coming around, or April 15th's coming around. Oh man, I gotta get my taxes, I gotta go. Screw that. Screw that. Bitcoin, baby. Digital currency. Look what happened today, y'all. You know what happened today? Facebook lost 24% of their stock. $150 billion today disappeared. Mark Zuckerberg lost $20 billion. We're talking American money, right? All of that stuff is taxed. All of it just disappeared, right? All of the banks have their hands in that. All the accountants have these hands in that, right? All of that, right? You get on the blockchain, you get digital currency. It's your money. I forget the word. Basically, nobody can touch it. if I want to give you $69 million right now, I can give you $69 million right now with a micro. It would probably cost me $4 to give you $69 million, right? When you got to give $69 million and pay taxes on it and pay all this other stuff, people like, look, things are being disrupted right now. What we think traditional social media is right now, Facebook today lost 24% of their value. I don't know if it's going to be AR or augmented reality. There's going to be another social shift here. When something happens like that and somebody loses money like that, then you've got the whole Trump thing, the politics that I stay out of. I pay attention to it, but I don't talk about it because I think it's useless. In a real estate bubble or a tech bubble or a gold bubble, something is going to happen and it's going to be much bigger than 2007. Then, when the banks get disrupted, y'all, the banks get disrupted. We don't need banks taking fees. We don't need banks to charge us to handle our money. Get on the blockchain. It's free. It's our money, right? So save your energy and time. I know it's really risky and I know it sounds a bunch of craziness, and if you don't understand it, I get it. I am preparing myself for the future so I can serve myself, my daughter, and everybody around the world at a much higher level, even at my prime time, baby, even in 2010 when I was making a ton of money. I don't play it safe. I don't play it safe, and I know what's going on, y'all. I know what's going on. Boom, boom. I got 10% left. I've got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Maybe what I'll do, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna do round 2 tomorrow, because you know, this is healing too. This is healing, and hopefully it's educational. But I still got half my box, y'all. Half this story, half this garbage of what we think reality is, right? 224 years ago, people were tired of royalty and kings and queens and monarchs saying, you know, you have to do this, you have to do that. We're gonna chop your head off. We're gonna cut you. Well, guess what? In 2018, right now, when we got these ninja computer in our pockets and we have data, and data is currency, and data is worth more than gold, and we can educate ourselves, we can get passionate and learn about what we want to learn rather than have all that static, y'all. Guess what? Might be very soon where a massive amount of people say, hey, see that little island over there, or see that little space? We're going to go create our new government. We don't want to pay all these taxes. We want personal sovereignty, right? You know, I did a religious video. I'm not a sinner when I was born. I'm not going to have some priest or some dude and a wizard tell me what I can and cannot do. I'm not going to have a bunch of senators and lobbyists that all are about money tell me who I am and how I should feel and why I'm such a bad person or a good person. I don't need anybody to praise me. I don't need anybody to pat me on the back. I now know who I am, and I love myself, and I am taking action. And I ain't scared, baby. We're doing round 2 tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for all the inspiration and the motivation, y'all. I'm leaving to Kauai in 82 days. If you all want to support me, I'll put a link here. It's called Roots of Hope. Send me $1, y'all. I need some video equipment, y'all. I'm going there. I'm going to stream every single day. We're going to go live like this. When I ninja flip onto the beach, I'm like, all right, what are we doing, y'all? What should I go? You guys can get on Google Maps like, go to Kauai Pharmacy, go do an interview. Let's go, I'm gonna take you. I'm like, I need a bike, y'all. Get on Craigslist and I'll call. We'll go meet somebody. I want to interview the locals there. I wanna see people that have been hurting from the floods there. I wanna learn from the rad little yogis there, the ninja gardeners there, the master gardeners. I want to learn from Kauai because I truly believe that is where I'm gonna find my peace and quiet. Love, spin, boom, baby. Boom! What?